Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded and I do apologize for that, but I'm back with a requested video and I will be breaking down the details of my AA application. A little disclaimer though, if your score and background and experience is anything similar to mine, it doesn't guarantee you a spot in an AA program. This is just me giving you guys a little bit more details into my application. Just for privacy reason, I am not going to be disclosing which program I'm attending right now, so I do hope you're a little bit understanding of that. But anyways, onto the video. For my bachelor's degree, I actually had a pre-professional / pre-MD concentration, and that basically means that the classes I took are essentially prereqs for a majority of higher healthcare programs such as med school, pharmacy school, dentistry school. During my undergrad, I took the basic biology, chemistry, and physics class, and then I also took a lot of upper level science electives such as medicinal chemistry, immunology, comparative anatomy, human physiology, microbiology, biochemistry, etc, etc, etc. And I thought like those type of classes would help my transcripts more, just because I thought my GPA is pretty average in my opinion. So I graduated with a 3.68 GPA, and that's my cumulative GPA, and my science GPA was a 3.65. So I don't know, I guess I have higher standards or higher expectation, or maybe I just had like that med school mentality where you need like at least 3.7 for everything. But med school was not something I was ever interested in. It didn't appeal to me. I didn't like the concept of going back to school for another 8 to 10 years. One of you guys have asked me why I chose the AA route in comparison to the anesthesiologist route or the CRNA route, and that's mainly why. And then with nursing, again, I was not interested in nursing. My roommate was a nurse. She and I went to the same college, and the college we went to actually had a very strong and popular nursing program, but it was not something that I wanted to pursue, so I never went for it. And that's why I was okay with having just a general biology with that professional concentration that I had. During my last year of my undergrad, I participated in a biochemistry research, and my lab group and I performed a PCR site-directed mutagenesis on a protein called the mitotic protein. And we basically introduced a mutation to the protein's DNA template to see if it would affect the iron sulfur formation. And that was pretty much my research experience during my undergrad. So what I think stood out the most in my application is my volunteer work. So during my undergrad, I volunteered for all 4 years. My college had this website, and it was basically a volunteer website through the school where organizations and companies that needed volunteer work would post their help wanted posters or announcements and stuff like that, I guess. And us as students or anyone in the community honestly can sign up to do one of those volunteer work. I found a hospice organization during my second year of college, and I volunteered with them for like 2 to 2.5 years. And my responsibility involved charting the patient's clinical information and also attending in-house patient visits. So I would go to either the facility or the hospice or nursing home that the patient assigned to me was staying at, and I would just keep them company or help their caretaker. For some of them, I would read their book, I would get them water, I would get them snacks. And because I was only a volunteer, obviously I'm not certified to do more than that. You know, I'm not allowed to legally assist them in any type of responsibilities, such as changing them or helping them go to the restroom or giving them their meds, because those are either the caretaker's job or the nurse's jobs. But that was basically the patient care interaction that I had, and I'm very grateful for them. For my work experience, I did work during undergrad, but mainly during breaks. So summer break, winter break, spring break, whenever the holidays approaches or whenever I have a long extended weekend, I would go and work as a nail tech at various nail salons. And then after I graduated, I was able to get a job as a pharmacy technician at a long-term care pharmacy. Now, long-term care pharmacy is a little bit different from retail pharmacy. I feel like working in an LTC pharmacy, I had a little bit more responsibility. So I did things that a pharmacist would normally do in a retail pharmacy. We also offered on-call schedule, so I would take those also during the weekend. I work from 9 to around 6 for 5 days a week, and then I would go on call if I would choose to do so. And that was basically my schedule for about a year. During that year, I did my shadowing experiences and I also took the GRE. So for my shadowing experience, I shadowed at 2 different hospitals, and I shadowed with various AAs and CRNAs and anesthesiologists for I think a total of 36 hours. And that was actually the first time I've ever been exposed to an OR room and the hospital environment. So that was really exciting for me. I got to learn a lot of cool stuff. I saw a lot of fun surgeries and I learned so much about anesthesia. I think you need a minimum of 8 hours, and that was actually something I was asked about during one of my interviews. I think I studied on and off, like inconsistently, because I was working full-time at the time, for 2 months using a GRE prep book that I ordered from Amazon. And during my last month, or the 3rd month, I signed up for Magoosh. So Magoosh is this GRE scheduling prep studying thing. And I basically signed up for one of their subscription, and it was for a 1-month subscription after studying my whole prep book already. And I think Magoosh helped me a lot because I just didn't know like how to set up a studying schedule. It's been so long since I've taken a standardized test like that. Like the last time I took that was the SAT, and that was 4 years ago when I had to take it to get into college. So for my verbal reasoning, I scored a 156, and for my quantitative reasoning, I scored a 158. So my overall score was a 314, and for the writing portion, I scored a 4.0. I think for majority of the AA programs, you just need to be at least in the 55th percentile. So I do think that my GRE scores help to boost my GPA, which I thought was pretty average. Although I did check a lot of the AA requirements, depending on the program, you need around at least a 3.0 to apply, and to consider yourself competitive, you need around a 3.4 to a 3.5. After all of that, I then collected my letters of references or recommendation letters. I got one from my head pharmacist at the pharmacy I worked at. I got one from my volunteer coordinator for the hospice agency that I volunteered with. And I got one from my professor that taught me my comparative anatomy and my human physiology class, which I did really well in. Again, the requirements for the letter of recommendation depends on the program you look at. I really do recommend you sign up for CAAs. That is where you'll be submitting all your application and letters of references. They will also list what type of recommendation letters they want you to have. It is better to get your recommendation letters from your professors, especially the ones that can vouch for you on your academic success. When it came to my interview process, I thought it was pretty straightforward. I applied to 3 schools and I got interviewed at all 3 schools. I could only do in-person interview with 1 school because after that the pandemic lockdown started and there was the travel ban, so I couldn't travel to any of my other schools to interview. So the other 2 was actually virtual. I was asked questions about my leadership skills. I went a little bit more in depth on interview questions on my last video, so if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and do that. I also time-stamped it so you know like where to look for it in the description box. So yes, I think that's all there is to talk about my application. Like I said, CAAs is the website where you'll be uploading your transcript, inputting in all your classes and information, and sending in all your letters of references and GRE score. So if you sign up for that, they literally list all the possible AA programs and all of the due dates and deadlines and all of the requirements that the AA program look for. If you're confident in your application, go for it. If you're not confident in your application, apply to as many programs as you need to. If you made it this far into the video, I really hope you get in. I really hope that you get into the AA program of your dreams. I hope you enjoy the program as much as I am right now. And I hope you succeed, and I hope we can become successful AAs together. If you guys have any other questions about the program or about my application, you can always leave them down in the comments below, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.